good morning everybody. It's another cold February day and here we are cooking a very French traditional dish from Lyon. It's a thing from my grandmother's past and it's wonderful in combination of flavors. We'll have a beautiful sausage that we're going to roast in a pan with some potatoes. Today I've chosen some fingerling potatoes as well as some little red potatoes just for the color and also the flavor. And I have a shoulder over here, a fresh pork shoulder, which we are going to grind and make that into our sausage with pistachio. We have shallots and we have some beautiful mushrooms. It's all going to go together in a pan with a beautiful sauce. And wait till you try this. It's actually very simple. Wait till you see. Let's start cooking. Okay, we have the grinder attachment on the KitchenAid over here. This is a beautiful thing. I recommend it highly because you can do a hand grinder and it works fine, but this is just so much faster. I'm grinding an entire shoulder for future purposes as well as today's purposes, so I'll make my sausage with what I'm grinding today, and I'll freeze some in some freezer bags. That way it's a lot easier. You want to think about the future meals during the week when you don't want to spend too much time. So it's coming through beautifully over here, and we'll mix it with the rest of the ingredients in just a few minutes. So now that the sausage has been ground, what we want to do is prepare some of the other ingredients. You can put in the onions raw, but you can saute them as well, and I think that gives it a much more pleasing flavor. We're going to saute them in some extra virgin olive oil as well as some sweet butter. And what we'll do is we're going to add some of the mushrooms after the onions are sauteed a little bit. Okay, we have our pan on about a medium fire, and we're going to add some butter as well as some extra virgin olive oil over here. And let's get that nice and sizzling. And this is organic extra virgin olive oil. You know I love organic. I love supporting organic farmers and all the good reasons behind it. So let's throw in our chopped shallots, and we're going to let those turn a little translucent before we throw in our mushrooms. Okay, we have our mushrooms chopped fairly fine, and I have about a half a pound over here. Mushrooms will go down, it looks like quite a bit that I have over here, but this is going to go down to pretty much almost nothing if I have it sauteing long enough, and I will have it sauteing long enough here with the onions. I am going to cover it. That'll help it to wilt and to melt, and I am going to add a little bit of seasoning to this, a little bit of fresh cracked pepper and some sea salt, and that'll give it an amazing flavor as we add it to the sausage. Okay, the onions and the mushrooms are done cooking, so I just have them resting over there. I want them to cool off a little bit because if they're too hot they will combine with the sausage and cook it, and we're not ready for that yet. So we are going to thicken it up with a couple of things and add some wonderful flavor. So what we'll do is we'll add some sour cream. This is one of the old family secrets over here. So I'll add about a half a cup of sour cream, and then I'm going to add some eggs. The eggs will be the binder to help to fill it together. And we're going to add some sea salt over here. This will be about a few teaspoons. Some fresh ground pepper. A fair amount of this actually. It'll give it a very unique and wonderful aroma as you cook it in the pan. And look at this, I have pistachios. So we're going to add about a cup of pistachios as well as some of the mixture over here that we just cooked as far as the shallots and the mushrooms. And we're going to mix that up. Okay, I put it all together and it's now just mixing it, and you can mix it with a couple of utensils like this. You can use your hands. Sometimes that's the fastest way. Now I am going to add two things that you don't need to, but a little bit of truffle oil, just about a teaspoon. I love the earthiness of the truffle oil. It's beyond compare. And also I have a little bit of dry red wine, which I'd like to add also. And that'll give it a little bit of extra flavor, a little je ne sais quoi. And you'll be able to stump your guest with maybe some of these amazing flavors. Do a little trivia, say, what do you think is in this? Guaranteed they won't be able to guess everything. They'll just know that it's absolutely amazing and want the recipe from you. Okay, once it's mixed very nicely over here, we're going to put it on this aluminum foil. And you don't necessarily need to do this, except for the fact that you could get the meat mixture to stick to this if you don't do it, and I don't want to take that chance. And not only that, but it'll give it a little extra flavor. So what we'll do is we'll put it right toward the end over here, and we're going to shape it into a roll, and we're going to roll that up. Okay, it's centered nicely over here, so all we need to do is kind of roll it tightly and continue. You can fold the end so it doesn't squeeze out as you go along. Tighten it tight, squeeze the end. Looking good. All right, I'm going to cook this two different ways. One is going to be in some warm water, and one is going to be roasted in a pan. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put a little extra butter and extra virgin olive oil in the pan over here. And I also put the roll inside, as you can see, and that's going to brown up a little bit. And I'll turn it as it browns. And it's also going to be time to add our potatoes. A little extra virgin olive oil over here. So we'll put some of the fingerling potatoes as well as some of the red ones, and we're going to pan roast those at the same time, and they should end up cooking at about the same rate. Okay, I lowered the heat on the potatoes over here, and what I'm going to do is add some onions as well as some beautiful peppers over here. The onions you don't want to chop fine. You want to keep them so that you can see them and bite into them. So that what I'm going to do is just quarter them like this, and then break them up and then add them. And we'll just throw them right on top over here and just kind of break them up a little bit so they're nice and large and you can actually see them while you eat them. And then I'll throw in some of my yellow sweet peppers and also a little roux. I want this to thicken over here, so I'm just going to throw this in. And the next ingredient will be the red wine. I'm going to put in 2 cups of red wine. Okay, I took our beautiful, absolutely stunning potatoes with the onions and the sweet pepper out and put it in this wonderful dish. And I also took the sausage out and let it rest for a little bit so it could congeal and develop a little bit more flavor. And I'm just cutting it very nicely over here. And what we'll do is put it right on the platter, just like this. And then you can stage the little pieces for a little bit more ambiance like this. And I have my other roasted one over here so I can make a separate platter. They taste differently. This one is succulent and savory, and this one is different, but it has a roasted flavor on top of it all. Take your pick. They're both beautiful. But this was almost a one-pot meal once again, so I hope that you can do this with your family and your friends in the kitchen and have some amazing flavors that you'll talk about for weeks and build memories that last a lifetime. Take care.